Get ready with me while I talk about one of the biggest red flags that I've ever seen in a guy. So this is a couple months ago when I was traveling to get my other puppy, and I was in the Dunkin' line, and of course I got my caramel coffee, extra creamer, and extra sugar. After I had got my drink, got my receipt, and pulled away, I realized the cashier left his number on the receipt, and I was like, what the heck? I thought this thing only happened in movies. The dude that gave me the receipt, he was actually pretty cute, and I had been single for way too long, so I was like, let me just text this dude. I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm the girl from Dunkin', you put your number on my receipt. He was like, oh, you're so sweet and pretty, I usually am not allowed to do things like that, but I took the chance and I did it anyways. At first I thought it was really cringy, and then I was like, okay, maybe this is the start of a love story. Oh boy, was I wrong. Anyways, he was like really straightforward, like immediately asked me if I was doing anything over the weekend, and I was like, oh boy, this is one of the typical F-boys. He asked me if I wanted to be his +1 to a party on Saturday, and I was like, okay. I actually didn't agree to go, and a couple days goes by and we're talking, and I was like, okay, let me just go to this party with this guy and see if I like him. After I agreed, he was like, hey, can you wear something specific? I was kind of like, what? I asked him what it was, and he sent me a picture of an outfit that was not my style. It was not my style. I really didn't want to be rude, so I was like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. And he was like, oh, I already bought it for you. And I was like, we just met and you already bought me an outfit? So like, it was like cute, but it was also weird at the same exact time. Days goes by and we're literally just talking, chatting, flirting here and there. And Saturday morning I was like, hey, where should we meet so I can get like the clothes that you got me for the party? He was like, I'll just meet you at your place. And I was like, oh, perfect. But I hadn't given him my address yet. That's a big remember this in this story. Because an hour later he told me he was on the way. And I was like, oh, I never gave you my address. And he was like, no worries, I already know. And I was like, hey, what? I am not about to get kidnapped right now. How do you know where I live? So I straight up asked him, I was like, how do you know where I live? He said, oh, I have good memory and I got a glimpse of your driver's license when you were in the Dunkin' drive-thru. I did not show this man my license. I did not pull it out at Dunkin'. At this point, I'm getting like really uneasy and like I do not want to go to this party because this man that I don't even know knows my address. I never gave it to him. As I was feeling really uneasy about this, I basically straight out told him, like, remembering my address when I didn't even show you my ID, I don't know how you've seen my ID, but you claim you remember my address from my ID, is very creepy, and that's crossing the line. It's like, I wanted to surprise you, and I thought it would be romantic. No, that's not romantic. That is creepy. So I told him I don't feel comfortable going to the party, and he was like, you can't cancel. I already told my friends about you. And I was like, you already told your friends about me. Maybe this guy is just a big romantic. Like, maybe he is the one. But then I thought it over and I was like, this man is lying. We aren't even really talking like that. I had just met this dude and I was like, okay, like, this has to stop because this is a little bit creepy. So I blocked his number, but that's not where it stops. He texted me off his friend's phone saying that I'm being dramatic and I am overreacting. I just met you. So I blocked his friend too. Now I know I am a dramatic one and I know I can be dramatic and I do overreact. So I took a screenshot of all of my messages with me and this dude. This man literally knew where I lived before I even gave him my address. Number one red flag. Number one red flag.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the time I convinced my cousin that her celebrity crush was texting her. This was the most devious thing I've ever done, and I think she still has like secret animosity towards me. So my cousin was a huge Justin Bieber fan. She was a huge believer. I mean, I know every girl was obsessed with him back in like what? I think this was 2012, 2013. But she was on a whole other level. Posters on her walls. I'm pretty sure she would kiss goodnight. She was convinced she was gonna marry him. If she knew that he would marry Hailey Bieber, she would have just like offed herself then. I don't think. And God forbid if her mom didn't play the Believe album in the car, she would throw a tantrum. Okay, I think you get it. But anyways, one day we wanted to have a sleepover that we probably had to beg our moms to have by performing a dance routine for them. If you know, you know. And by the way, we were both around like 10 years old at this point. I don't know. But to get to the point, I decided to download this like anonymous texting app, and somehow I would be able to text her from my iPod and automatically make the contact name say Justin Bieber. I was basically secretly texting her pretending to be Justin freaking Bieber. I don't remember exactly what I said, but eventually she was like, Emily, guess who is texting me? I was like, OMG, who? What are they saying? Girl, you know damn well, you know damn well, you are the one texting her right beside her. You're so fake. Like, she literally believed it, guys. Like, she didn't believe it. She believed it. Believed. I can't remember what I was texting her, but I was basically making her believe that Justin Bieber was, like, rizzing her up. Like, whoever he was with, I don't think it was Selena Gomez yet. But whoever he was with, I was making her think that he was cheating on her with my cousin. This girl was freaking out. Oh my god, Justin Bieber's texting me, Emily. Oh my god. It was more like high-pitched squeals, like, oh my god, he's texting me too, marry him. But, she basically could believe it because, like, I knew everything about her. It was me texting her. Like, she thought that he knew her name and all this stuff. I have no idea how we kept the conversation going for, like, hours because I knew nothing about Justin Bieber. We had been chilling on the bed, literally sitting right next to each other, and I noticed that she stopped texting me. She stopped texting Justin. This girl was leaving Justin Bieber on red. Like, how disrespectful, but... She wasn't texting him, and I was confused because she was still on her phone, and I was like, has he texted you? And she just, like, gave me a look and, like, didn't say anything, and I was like, oh, I guess at some point she had seen in the corner of her eye my phone, like, the same conversation, me on the prank texting app, and, she was pissed. She was like, so it was you the whole time? And I was like, yeah. I don't remember exactly how it went down, because this was 10 years ago, but I'm pretty sure she was more sad than mad at me. I don't remember if she cried, but she got pranked hard, guys. She forgave me eventually. No hard feelings. I wonder if she even remembers this. Probably not. It was probably so traumatizing for her that she, like, deleted it from her brain or something. No, I'm kidding, but if she sees this, I can't imagine she would be mad at me for posting this. Like, I didn't even say her name, but yeah, I don't mean to, like, embarrass you, girl, but it's just, like, really funny to me. Sorry. She really thought she was gonna be one less lonely girl. Bye, all my believers.
Even though nobody asked, I'm going to tell you guys the second most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to me. So it was my 16th birthday party. I just wanted to keep it casual, so I was hanging out with all my friends at the mall, and then we were going to go to an art museum in about an hour. But in the meantime, we were all just hanging out at Dick's Sporting Goods, literally just playing mini golf. And then I had to pee, so my boyfriend's sister went with me. So we walk in the bathroom, and you guys remember that meme that was going around in like 2020, and it's like the old guy, and he's like, time for a munch, crunch. Well, I used to quote that meme constantly. Of course, when we walk in the bathroom, there's only 2 stalls and no one in there. So Hannah, my boyfriend's sister, is just standing by the sinks waiting for me because she didn't have to go. So I get into the stall and I realize there's no toilet paper in mine, but I could just reach into the stall next to me and take some of theirs. So I, still thinking we're the only ones in there, proceed to reach under to the stall next to me as I'm sitting on the toilet, literally yelling, "It's time for a munch! Crunch!" over and over from the top of my lungs as I am actively pulling toilet paper from the stall next to me. I walk out of the stall. Hannah's just looking at me with the widest eyes, so I was like, what? She points to the stall next to me that I had just taken toilet paper out of, and as I'm sure you figured out, there was literally someone in there. I ran out of that bathroom faster than I've ever ran anywhere in my life. I did wash my hands in a different bathroom, but I was mortified. And my boyfriend's sister did try to warn me that someone else was in there. I was literally just so loud that I didn't hear her. Like, can you imagine you're just trying to pee in peace, and then you sit down and someone starts yelling, "It's time for a munch, crunch," and pulling the toilet paper out from under your stall into theirs? Still keeps me up at night sometimes.